What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka JustTenMoreMinutes, aka the Freakin 10. And I've put off making this because I didn't want it to end. I've loved this journey. I've loved everything about this conceptual album, all the stories they've told, and I just didn't want it to end, to be honest with you. But all good things must come to an end. And it's not the end of my journey with the warning, right? I mean, I've got plenty more, I've got 21st Century Blood, they're new stuff. So it's not like I'm stopping anytime with them, and I'm going to cover them probably for years to come, quite honestly, because I'm a huge fan of their music and just the role models that I see forming as I watch them, from what I've covered and how they carry themselves, both in these kind of performances at different of the concert events, how they interacted with some of the crowd. And obviously this was years ago, but that all is a base on how you carry yourself going forward. Which, watching one, I think, just recently with the one in Winnipeg, they were still killing it. So, I did not want this to end. But with that being said, what path is this going to take? Because if you really take a look at it, right, there's so many different paths that this could take. We know what happens at the end of the last song, right, with Hunter. And so we're now at a point of what perspective will this be coming from, right? That's the real question for me. And how will this play out? What person, will be putting this message forward in the song? So I'm very interested to see. So with that being said, let's switch it up. Let's knock it out. Oh, that's gonna be rough.
I don't regret, wish I could forget, 'cause all the things I've done and all the things I've said don't go away. They stay with me like a constant loop inside my mind that's always on repeat. I know it was wrong, but there is nothing to be done anymore. I won't forgive myself, 'cause pity doesn't help anymore. This is the end, so long my friend. Stars always seem to fade, it's a little too late to with bloodstained hands I make amends. Stars always seem to fade, it's a little too late to start over again.
Wow. That's that emotion. Holy shit. Again, with every one of these I've pictured, right? What are these different paths as a storyteller that they could go? The obvious path at the end of the last one was, taking her own life. No matter which personality, right? The Reaper, the Queen, the Evil, taking her own life. And so how would they play this out? What personality would be giving a eulogy, if you will, of what's happened? And it's the Queen. I mean, and that's fitting. I if that's the path they're going, which I think it is, it's the Queen. In the sense of the real Queen itself, but that's embraced all of this. As they say, right? I don't regret. So if we go through the lyrics, I don't regret, wish I could forget, because all the things I've done and all the things I've said don't go away. they stay, excuse me, with me, like a constant loop inside my mind that's always on repeat. So all of the evil she's done, the lives that she's taken, no matter what has happened, they stay with her, right? So she doesn't regret it. I knew it was wrong, but there's nothing to be done anymore. I won't forgive myself because pity doesn't help anymore. Nice little, I really like the rhyme scheme there, right? I forgive myself because pity doesn't help. And pronunciations are great. And then the same thing going back with don't go away, they stay with me, like a constant loop inside my mind that's always on repeat, right? You can get away with those types of things as a rhyme. This is the end. So long, my friends. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late to. It's a little late too. With bloodstained hands, I make amends. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late to start over again. So this really sounds. Here's what I'm picturing, right? As I've told y'all from the beginning of, I play this like a movie, right? I picture the scene in my head, what they're writing. And I'm literally picturing the queen laying on the floor, a mortal wound, or a fatal wound. Depends on how sorry, fatal is what I meant. But kind of writing this out, whether it's in blood, whether it's pen and paper, I don't know. And kind of writing some of these words out. Obviously, not all of this, but I think some of this of the regret and things that the queen has done. Literally sitting there, right? I'm picturing a piano playing in the background as these words are being written. And then as she's writing, this is the end, boom, the big music, just like what they played. I mean, so freaking fitting. That pain and emotion at the beginning. That was freaking heartbreaking, y'all. Wow. Let's keep going.
They'll never know,
Harmonies.
'cause I'll never say anything about the memories that live inside my head. They stay with me, they don't go away. They haunt me every night while I'm lying in my bed. This is the end, so long, my friend. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late to. With bloodstained hands, I make amends. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late to start over again. There's nowhere to run. What have I done?
Oh, yes.
This is the end, so long, my friend. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late to. With bloodstained hands, I make amends. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late to start again. Start again. Start
There you go. Okay, make sure I stopped it on psychotic, so just Forget what you see on the screen. I stopped it. They played this perfectly. They'll never know because I'll never say anything about the memories that live inside my head. They stay with me, they don't go away. They haunt me every night while I'm lying in my bed. This is the end. So long, my friends. Stars always seem to fade. It's a little too late, too. With blood-stained hands, I make amends. Stars always seem to fade. A little too late to start over again. Because that build, right? They talking about they'll never know because I'll never say, right? Because she'll have died and they won't know about the evil taking over. They won't know about everything that went on that caused her to do this. It's that untold story of the serial killer that never gives a reason why, right? You know, and that applies to any murderer, quite honestly. You never know why. They don't know the motive. There can always be clues around that may give hints, but they never know because they'll never say. Man, and just again, I picture everything with scenes, and right as she says, they haunt me every night while I'm lying in my bed. Screen fades to black. Or sorry, after the there's nowhere to run. Oh, what have I done? Doon, doon, doon. And then that build, screen goes to black. This is the end, right? Which signifies her true death. Oh my God, this is fucking magnificent. Pardon the language, but I can't help it. Wow. Man. I'm letting it sink in about how they told this ending. Because as many different paths as they could have gone down, right? And some of them I wrote about in my versions of the path they could have taken. And they chose the right path. I'm not discrediting their paths. Don't take it as I'm trying to insult them and say they did it wrong. Theirs is a masterpiece. I'm just giving a vision inside of my head. That's what all storytellers do. The way they ended this was perfect because, yes, you could have had someone else be the demise, right? Whether it's the police, whether it's an ex-lover, whether it's a fight with another lover that she's trying to kill. But instead, she was not only her own evil, but her own end, right? She was the beginning, she was the end. But she didn't regret it. Oh, that's bone chilling to think about, but absolutely freaking magnificently done. That's a standing ovation. Wow. If an album ever needed to be a movie or a Broadway play, man, I vow to y'all, if my channel ever gets big enough where I make enough money, where I can, be involved with it, I don't want to say produce it, but help the girls put this together and share visions and we, collaborate on stuff, I will do it. You have my word. If my channel ever gets big enough and I have those resources, consider it done. I will pay for all their expenses. I will pay for everything. I will fly to them. I don't care what it takes. This is such a masterful. It needs to be everywhere. These girls need to be everywhere. They need to be, their talent needs to be showcased more. And they'll get there, right? I mean, obviously they've grown since this was written. As Ollie turns 18 this next month, I think y'all have told me. But still, my God, what a story. Quite honestly, I wouldn't even care if it's a mini series on TV, right? That would be based off of it. This needs to be on a much larger screen. I mean, man, wow. This was brilliant. There's no other words I could say. Y'all know that. Ooh, what a ride. What an emotional roller coaster. Let me switch it up, give you my final thoughts. I really did not want to hit that switch to outro because that's where I close it out, and I didn't want this to end. But it ended perfectly. It ended how it needed to be, alone. Alone in her own thoughts, in her own head. Nobody prying, nobody trying to get anything out of her. Dying as it began. That perfect. I mean, I'll probably end up writing one to close out what I did with the Obsessed. But make no mistake, this is the original. This is the best. There's no beating it. Mine's just a cool little play off of it. It's much like one of the directors taking Batman and or whatever and it being given to a different director and he puts a spin on it. And I mean, all I'm doing is taking it, putting my own twist in it, right? But not by any means saying they did it wrong. That was perfect. The beginning, she died just as the beginning with alone. And that's how it needed to be, in her head. Nobody else needed to take her life. Didn't need to be the police. Didn't need to be... Actually, you know what? I'm not writing another ending to this. I'm not. Because this is the right way to do it. As much as they inspire me to write one, and as I was sitting there going through this and listening to this, I was like, oh, that would be cool. That would be a cool twist to include. But I can't, because circling back, the beginning is the end. And at her own hands is absolutely perfect. Wow. So, I'll do a couple more versions of this. I'll do some searches, see what's out there. I'll do the TED Talk that they did. I'm debating if I want to go forwards or backwards. Part of me wants to go listen to the older stuff before I hit their current stuff, so that when I do finish the current stuff, that then it's the performances where they're playing those versus an older one. I don't know. I'm really torn. I got to think about that. But that's going to do it for me. Man, wow. What else is there to say but wow? This is simply perfect. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. I'm speechless. That I honestly feel emotionally drained in a very good way. Like I said, you're in a movie, you've got this whole movie playing before, and you walk out and you've been so emotionally invested in it that at the end, everything just releases. And I'm in that kind of, and now just appreciating the whole thing in my head from start to finish. Absolutely freaking awesome. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. If you want to support me in other ways, you can. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/JTMMTV. Again, always appreciate it, but never required. The way y'all have helped my channel grow and continue to grow is really all I could ask for. That's just more of, hey, if you want to, cool. If not, no big deal. I appreciate every one of y'all. This journey is not over. It is for this one. Oh, wow. What a freaking roller coaster. Y'all know who I am. JTMM. I'm out.